What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 214, and we start today's episode off with a scout report here, and we did sign one of these players into our academy. Scott McLeod, I think was his name, and he joins our academy. So far, the players our scout has picked up from the first time we've had a youth scout here at Arsenal, the players he's picked up have been pretty average at best. But you never know. One of these players could have a good future. Obviously, it's probably only going to be one, possibly two seasons after this one left in his career mode, so those players won't get too far. But it's still nice to do youth scouting anyway. I don't know why. I really do like having an academy, even if you rarely ever use it. But still, we take on Real Madrid for the first game of today's episode in the Champions League round of 16 first leg here at the Emirates. And obviously, coming into this game, despite our recent run of form, which has been fantastic, looking at Real Madrid's first 11, I couldn't really identify a weak link, so I knew for a fact it was going to be a very, very difficult challenge for us. Not really sure who would be considered the favourites for it, but it was going to be a difficult game. The first chance did fall to the away side as well. Isco's strike was well saved by Chris Ince, but in the 5th minute here we had a free kick, and Banyang is 32 yards out, and he opens the scoring and makes it Arsenal 1, Real Madrid 0. And a bit of a side note as well, if you watched the last episode, when Niang had a free kick against Liverpool, I said he'd scored one before against Aston Villa, and I said he might have scored another one. This was the free kick I was referring to. It's just I forgot that obviously this game was played after the Liverpool game and not beforehand, as I'm recording this episode and the last one you saw at the same time. But still, Niang gets the goal from this free kick. Absolutely superb strike by the French forward, and as I've said many times before, this guy's the big man for the big occasion. It's as simple as that. Whenever we need a goal, whenever we really need a good performance, he always comes alive and does something special, and he does it here again. Arsenal 1, Real Madrid 0, and Banyang's superb free kick gives us the lead here at the Emirates. So great strike by Banyang, and we do take the lead. A few minutes later though, Real Madrid had a great chance to equalise. Gareth Bale cuts past his man and shoots, but again, Chris Ince is equal to the strike and turns it behind for a corner. So still 1-0, and in the 11th minute, Real Madrid kept the pressure alive here with Gareth Bale getting on the ball for them and taking it around Luke Garbutt. He crosses the ball to the far post and misses everyone and comes to Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo strikes it, but the Portuguese player is denied by Chris Ince, making another good save and turning it behind for a corner. So we need a big game from Chris Ince in this game, and as things stood, he was set for one. Another good save by our goalkeeper, and it was still 1-0. And from the corner, it's a terrible delivery, and it goes outside the box and comes to Mari Williams. He first time volleys it to Rodrigo Lazari. We go on a break. Lazari finds Niang, who takes it round Sergio Ramos, goes one-on-one with the goalkeeper, finesses it past him, and 13 minutes in, it's Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 0. Both goals coming through, who else but Mbaye Niang. And an incredible start to this game, despite all the pressure really being from Real Madrid. We have two opportunities, and we get ourselves two goals. First, Niang's superb free kick, and then that really quick counter-attack. He finishes the ball past the goalkeeper, and we have a 2-goal cushion against Real Madrid early on in this game. A few minutes later, it could have been 3, and it could have been a hat-trick for Niang. He chips the goalkeeper from just inside the area, but sadly for us, it goes onto the roof of the net and behind for a goal kick. So still 2-0. In the 34th minute, there was a great chance for Real Madrid to get themselves back in the game, I should say. Gareth Bale goes down the right-hand side for them, and the Welshman cuts inside and shoots, but again, Chris Ince makes the save and turns it behind for a corner. So what a first half our goalkeeper was having, and it was still 2-0. And in the 38th minute, another great chance for Real Madrid. Ronaldo takes it past Callum Chambers here, crosses the ball in towards Karim Benzema, and Benzema's header is off target and goes over the bar. So still Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 0 going into the second half. What a fantastic first half it was for us, and Chris Ince in particular. And in the 48th minute, another great save by Chris Ince keeps the score at 2-0. But sadly for us, well, I'm someone who makes a lot of mistakes in FIFA. I'm willing to admit that I make a lot of errors, and that was one there. Chris Ince makes a good save, dives on the rebound. I tried to throw it out to Luke Garbutt, but for some reason the game registered it as a throw towards Joel Campbell, even though I was pointing at Luke Garbutt. It's my mistake, obviously, but I was pretty frustrated how it was pretty obvious I was trying to give it to the left back who was in space and not Joel Campbell. But it's my mistake. But what happened afterwards was just really bad luck. I mean, it's my mistake for the goal, yes, but what happens afterwards is just really, really bad luck. The strike is taken by Benzema. It deflects off the heel of Ryan Sarr and loops up over Chris Ince and goes right into the top corner. And our young goalkeeper, who was having the performance of his life, is beaten by a real stroke of misfortune. And again, I will reiterate, it's my mistake for the goal. I'm willing to admit that I do make a lot of errors in FIFA, but even so, the bad luck in that strike was just ridiculous. Because if it was just, if it was a simple shot from Benzema, which went past Ryan Sarr with no deflection, I put any money on Chris Ince making a save, considering how good he was playing. But because of the deflection, he has no chance, and it's Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 1. So the Spanish side back in the game as things stand right now, and a crucial away goal for them as well. But in the 64th minute, there was a great chance to make it 3-1 for us to get ourselves a 2-goal cushion back, and we do. And guess who scored the goal? Do I even need to tell you who scored the goal? Because you know who it is. It is Aubameyang, obviously. It's a hat-trick for the French forward. Arsenal 3, Real Madrid 1. We have our 2-goal cushion back. Campbell picks him out. He turns to the last defender, Ramos, smashes the ball past Navas, and makes it 3-1 to the Gunners. So Arsenal 3, Real Madrid 1. And as you can see, Real Madrid come forward here with Modric finding Isco. Isco's strike ends up going just wide of the post. But we were feeling really good about our chances, despite the fact that Real Madrid kept on having many shots on our goal, because Chris Ince was on fire. And, you know, again, the goal was just a real bad error by me. And, you know, every time we came forward, we looked like scoring. You know, despite the fact Real Madrid's defence was relatively solid, we kept on getting ourselves into good areas. And I kept on thinking that the more times we get ourselves inside their area, we'll probably find the back of the net. Another great chance here sees Vargas play the ball out wide towards Serge Gnabry. He takes it around his man, and his strike goes just over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So we'd scored 3 goals against one of the best teams in the world in Real Madrid. But we kept on getting ourselves inside, and we did get ourselves a 4th goal here through Vargas in the 73rd minute. But sadly for us, the offside flag was raised, and the celebration took a while there before he realised. But even so, it was disallowed for offside. But that would have been our 4th goal in the game, and that's why I was feeling really confident about our chance in this game, despite the fact Real Madrid were playing better, because we just kept on getting ourselves inside, exploiting that back line that was pretty high, pushed up pretty high I should say, and we just kept on getting ourselves inside. But it was still 3-1 to Arsenal though. We were still having a great game. But in the 78th minute, well, you know, I'll say it again, I don't know. I really don't know. Sometimes I just make mistakes where I look at them and I go, yeah, it's understandable that I do something like that. It's the way I play. But some mistakes you literally just cannot legislate for, and that was just one of them right there. I mean, seriously, why would I just roll the ball out to Luke Garbutt there? He's clearly going to be under pressure from the second he gets the ball at his feet. And as you can see, Real Madrid play the ball inside, and Benzema makes it 3-2. So I've thrown away the 2-goal cushion there with a stupid error. I made a stupid error for the first Real Madrid goal and the second one as well. But we did get our 2-goal cushion back 7 minutes before the end. Ribéry's regen scores his first goal for the club after coming off the bench, and the French left midfielder rounds the goalkeeper, puts it into the empty net, and makes it Arsenal 4, Real Madrid 2. So our 2-goal cushion is back in this game. Ribéry's regen getting his first goal for the club, and yeah, just an easy composed finish. Once I went 1-on-1, I knew exactly what to do. A simple finish there. It's 4-2, and our 2-goal cushion is back in this game. But you know, again, I was still annoyed as well, because you know, Chris Ince had the best game of his career so far, no doubt about it, and certainly since he joined Arsenal. And both of the goals he conceded were my fault. You know, they were my errors. Whenever a goalkeeper concedes, obviously it's down to the AI, because the AI controls the goalkeeper. But when you make the mistakes directly that influence the goals, you feel so bad about it, you know, especially when your goalkeeper's playing so well. But it was how the game would finish. Arsenal 4, Real Madrid 2. So a hat-trick for Niang, 1 for Ribéry's regen coming off the bench. And despite Benzema scoring a double for Real Madrid, both goals being my mistakes, it was still a really decent result for us. We'll go to the Bernabeu with a 2-goal cushion. And despite Real Madrid having 2 away goals, I still feel as though this tie is ours. I wouldn't say ours to lose, but right now we're the favourites. Let's just say that, because, you know, the way Chris Ince was playing in that game, I can't see him conceding more than 2 goals. And because we scored 4 against Real Madrid, I'm pretty sure we could probably score at least 1 at the Bernabeu. So I definitely fancy our chances of going through to the quarterfinals. Before the game, I would have said it was 50-50, but now I'd say we've got about a 75% chance of going through. We just need to stick to our game plan at the Bernabeu. Most importantly, though, we need to make sure we cut out those silly errors. And when I say we, I mean me. But even so, the second leg should be good regardless, and I'm glad we do go there with a 2-goal cushion. So we take on Spurs for the second and final game of today's episode here in the North London derby. Now, this was being played in the 5th round of the FA Cup. So coming into this game, of course, we do need to win a trophy this year. We're into the Capital One Cup final, which will be the next game in the next episode against Liverpool, so look forward to that. But of course, the FA Cup as well would be nice to win too. We do need to win something. So coming to this game, I did put a very strong team out there, but sadly for us, the first goal would be scored by the away side. Giovanni Dos Santos gets the goal for Spurs in his second spell for the club. Sadly for us, he was played through over the top. We couldn't catch up, and the Mexican does make it Arsenal 0, Spurs 1. So Dos Santos getting the goal there. Again, really poor from me. I pushed up my centre-backs way too high, and once Dos Santos ran clear, he was always going to score. So Arsenal 0, Spurs 1, and sadly for us, the away side are in the lead in this game. Just past half an hour mark, though, a great chance to get ourselves back on level terms. Vargas goes down the right-hand side and takes on Eric Dyer. He cuts inside with the bird spin and shoots, but Gelios makes a brilliant save and turns it behind for a corner. So still Arsenal 0, Spurs 1 going into the break. But just before half-time, we would have one final chance. Aaron Ramsey playing a brilliant through ball towards Aubameyang, who has the pace on Eric Dyer, who's never going to catch him. And Aubameyang does equalise for us with virtually the last kick of the half. He smashes the ball past the goalkeeper, and the shot power on that was unreal. He's got 98 for shot power, so I guess you can't really be too surprised. But he was falling, he was slipping over. It was his left foot, his weaker left foot as well, and it just went past Gelios in a flash. We're back on level terms though, Niang with the goal, but you know, his shot power is without doubt his best asset. He's just got so much shot power, it's insane. You know, 98 for shot power, 1 off the maximum, so it's no real surprise you can do that. But even so, you're still surprised whenever the ball goes past the goalkeeper in a flash like that. But still, Arsenal 1, Spurs 1. A couple minutes after the restart, Christians makes a great save there to keep the score level, and in the 52nd minute here, Joel Campbell picks up the ball and finds Eduardo Vargas. Vargas finds the goal scorer and by Niang. Niang plays it back to the Chilean Vargas, then back to Niang. Niang then back on the ball for us, turns Jan Vertonghen, goes through 1-on-1. Again, it's just shot power from Niang, which is what we use. We capitalise on the fact he's got 98 for shot power, blast it past the goalkeeper, and he's got no chance. So if you guys pick up Niang for your career mode team, if you're ever going 1-on-1, the powerful shots are your friends. You know, you can score finesses, you can round the goalkeeper, but power that shot. His shot power is really, really underrated, and that's why he scores so many goals. So Arsenal 2, Spurs 1. Niang's double does put us in front in this game for the first time, and in the 90th minute as the game was being closed out, it was still 2-1, and we put the icing on the cake with Lazari rounding the goalkeeper, putting it through the legs of Eric Dyer, the covering defender, making it Arsenal 3, Spurs 1, and sending us through to the next round of the FA Cup. So Lazari's goal there makes it 3-1. And obviously there's no way back for Spurs now, so really nice to see Lazari score there. And you know, this game, as I said before, we've got the Capital One Cup final to come in the next episode. We're really desperate to win that, but to go far in the FA Cup could be really important for us too. So I'm very pleased we did win the game by 3-1. And of course, beating your rivals is always nice as well, and we are now through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. But that is going to be any episode, guys, so as always, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like, it is much appreciated, and of course it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon, which will of course be the Capital One Cup final against Liverpool.